Hello everyone, I'm Stable Voltage Development, and welcome to a little bit of a different video, as today I'm going to be talking a little bit about something that's not related to game development, but instead I'm going to be talking about video editing. And the only reason why I'm putting this on this channel is because whilst this channel is about game development, I don't mind putting videos onto this channel that's something that's to do with like behind the scenes, stuff like that. And because game development is like a form of behind the scenes of games, that's why I don't have an issue with putting something like behind the scenes of video editing on this channel as well. And you can definitely see in the title that I'm going to be sharing with you, sorry, oh my god, my experience so far with DaVinci Resolve. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware of DaVinci Resolve, but DaVinci Resolve is a free video editing software that has like a paid version, but it's a one-time payment, and it's not even, well, I say it's not even that much, it's about 300 quid, well, at least in my currency. And this editing software, I mean, the free version is like really good, like really good. But I do have my issues with it. Now, of course, like when you're using something new for the first time, you're going to like take some time to get used to it, of course, especially when you're already editing, especially of course when you're editing already in another software like Premiere Pro, and you're so used to that sort of workflow, and to transfer over to a different editing software, you're going to be struck, and it's going to take some time to get used to. Although it is going to take some time to get used to, there are elements of the software that if it was improved, then I would actually transfer over to DaVinci Resolve. But because it is in its current state, I really struggle to transfer over properly. So I'm going to give you a bit of an example. So I have this video I've been working on, and I mean, I would have brought this video out on one of my other channels sooner, but because it's taken me so long to just like, you know, work on this and, you know, get into our workflow, it's taken much longer, and I'll probably just edit it in Premiere Pro anyway. But let's say, for example, I want to actually, I'm gonna mute this for now. I don't really want to be hearing this all the time. But oh wait, I muted the wrong thing. Whoops. Wait. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna mute my microphone audio. There we go. So let's say, for example, I want to zoom in onto the title, right? So what you would have to do is go over to video, and then you would have to keyframe the zoom and the position. So you would keyframe those, and then you would go in, and then you would activate the transform, and then hold down shift, drag this, and then go into this, and then like that. So then of course it's going to be just a linear movement. But if I go ahead and go over to these keyframe diamonds over here, and because we're at the last one, we can right click, ease in, and right click on the other one and ease in. And now if I look at this, that, I mean, straight off the bat, you can see this, right? I've just done a basic ease in. That's it, just a basic one, and it looks kind of weird, right? It's not like a constant forward motion, but just slowed down. It's like a motion, but it sort of dwindles around a little bit, and that's not the effect that I want. And I don't actually, you know what? If I reset these quick keyframes, and if I actually go into, is it effects? It's transform, right? Wait, actually, oh wait, hang on. Open effects. Wait, is this? Okay, it was lagging a bit. Okay, so transform. There we go. Okay, so transform. So let's just put this onto here. So it goes into the effects as a transform. So now, if I do position X, like if I put a keyframe on position X, position Y, and zoom, and now if I go over to here and then zoom in onto the there we go. So obviously it's going to be another linear one. So now if I do the exact same thing, so ease in, ease in, ease in, and so that is fine. That is fine. But for example, if I wanted to make it smoother, as in I want to get to the, like, I want it to like be very fast at the beginning, but then go slow down towards the end. Like, I mean, it's fine-ish at the moment, but you just need that just a tiny bit more of a tweaking. So what you would have to do is you have to go into this thing down here, which is like a curve editor, spline editor, and you can see these keyframes here. So unfortunately, I don't know why DaVinci Resolve doesn't allow you to do this, but you can't select all of your keyframes at once. You just can't do that, because like, okay, I've done that, I've selected that, and now if I drag this over to here, do that, and if I go over to like another one, so I did position X, I think, so position Y, yeah, the keyframe, the sort of dragging thing is still here. So now if I drag over to here, and then get the zoom as well, and then drag that over to here, so, okay, you can drag them. You can drag them. So now, let's see what that does. As you can see, there is, like, you know, fast motion in the beginning and then it slows down. But, if you can see, actually, can I, so you can see like that, and now, as you can see, there is still a little bit of a dwindle in the position, right? There's still a little bit of a dwindle, and I really do not like that. And it's so annoying that in the curve editor, you can drag these. Obviously, you can drag these, but unfortunately, in this specific curve editor, you can't. For example, hold down a key to drag it only on one axis, as in like horizontal, vertical. It's basically a free movement, which I really, really do not like, because in Fusion, on the other hand, so let's just hang on a minute. Let's reset these, and now I don't like using the only reason I like using Fusion is when you're tracking what's on your screen, like you're tracking your face movement, or for example, if I was to ever get the studio version of DaVinci Resolve, like the paid version, I would use the magic mask, which is only available in the studio version. So then I think maybe that's in the color tab, I don't know, but I think you can do it in the Fusion tab, I don't know. I have no idea, but let's go ahead and right click, open in Fusion, and it takes a little bit of time. Not a huge fan of that, but now if I put a transform in here like that, so now it's just a simple like transform, and I can resize and all that jazz. So now, if I do center, a keyframe on center and a keyframe on size, and then go forward a bit, and now size it up, and then center over to here. So now, I've got those keyframes. We have a spline editor over here, and now, if I go over to transform 1, and then go to there, and now we've got this spline editor over here, and if I click on the first one here, and well, actually, first of all, if we highlight both of them and then go over to here, which makes it smooth, we've got that. And now if we press T, you can do an easing. You can like ease it like that. This is like really, really easy controls. And if I do that, let's see what that's like. So, you can see, hang on, actually, I probably should have, like, made the keyframes a bit, like, wait, hang on. So, there we go. There we go, it's a bit longer. Okay, so, there we go, okay. So now, let's just see this. So obviously, there is a fast beginning, but very, very, very slow end. It's really, really good. I love how you can do that. But you can only do that in the Fusion Spline editor. Now, of course, if you're only working in Fusion, there's pretty much no problem here. There's no issue. You just work in Fusion, you can use this. But if you're working primarily and most of the time in the edit page, you would want to use mostly the Spline editor in the edit page, right? So why is the Spline editor only available in Fusion? Why? That is kind of what my issue with this is. If this Spline editor was literally in the edit page, like, I would be editing with DaVinci Resolve, like, no problem. I really, really love this because, like, actually, I'll show you something in Premiere Pro. So here's the exact same video in Premiere Pro, actually, and I'm gonna mute my audio just so that you don't hear me. So okay, let's say for example, I'm gonna isolate an area, so I'm gonna cut here because why not? And let's say for example, actually, I'm gonna undo this for when I actually do. Actually, no, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about what I'm talking about right now. Right, I'm going to click on both clips and then I'm gonna nest them so that I can just edit both of them at the same time. So now, if say for example I want to zoom in on my face and do that in a very fast but also slow motion, let's go ahead and go over to the position scale over here and then put a keyframe there and then over to about maybe here. Let's just zoom in onto my face over here, and now I can highlight both of them and then ease in. So I mean, that's just simple ease in. So as we've seen before, that's just a simple ease in, so it's nice. But now if I open both of these up, you get these sort of dragging for the curves. So if I drag this curve over to here, it can only go so far. I don't know if it can go further in like a later version of Premiere Pro. I don't know, because I don't have the latest version of Premiere Pro. I have 2018 version, and I've never needed to upgrade. So, and I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to. So okay, we've done the curving of the positions, and now let's just do the curving of the zooming. Now this one's a little bit finicky, so I have to really be careful. And if you can actually see like jagged lines here, it means that the position has been altered. But if I slowly go down, the jagged lines seem to have disappeared, right? Now they've disappeared. They're like no more jagged lines anymore. So now, if I close them, if we look at this now, as you can see, it's very, very fast and then very, very, very slow. Very, very smooth. That's what I wish DaVinci Resolve would do. And again, like I've already said, the Spline editor in Fusion, like, love it so much. I absolutely love that. Great, absolutely great. But why can't the edit page have a Spline editor, huh? Why? I mean, okay, let's take another look at it. So, let's just, actually, let's just, can I just control Z? I can control Z. So, wait, can I? Wait, hang on. I mean, okay, you know what? Reset. Yep, reset. There we go. Okay. So now, Okay, let's just redo those again. So, because we're on the open effect, actually that doesn't matter. But let's just do the keyframes again. So, like that, okay, and then zoom in again onto there again. So, okay, we've got those, and now let's not actually do the ease in right now, but let's just go back over to the spline editor, and okay, we're back here, and we do have these options up here, which is, this one is to do with easing in. This one's to do with easing out, as in like it's like a slow beginning and then a little bit faster in the middle or towards the end, and then the one in the middle is like, it's, if you've got more than 2 keyframes, the middle one is slow towards that keyframe and then slow coming out. So slow going in and then slow going out at the same time. So that's what they are, but they're just like very, very simple ease in and out. I just wish that you had more customizability, because, hang on, if we go back over to Fusion, okay, so we're back in Fusion now. Let's just redo these. So let's move them back out again. So if we right click on this and then go to ease. Now, I don't know why it's all grayed out for me. I really have no idea why. I've tried out everything that I possibly can think of, but I don't know why it's grayed out for me. But you've got these different easing types. You've got like, quadratic, cubic, dialogue, I don't know what that is. But yeah, you've got various different types of easings. But I don't know why the edit page is limited to just a simple ease in, because whilst you can just, drag it all around, again, it's very, very super easy to change your position whilst you're dragging the curve without speeding the curve up or smoothing the curve, It's super easy to just move the position. You don't want to do that. Well, maybe some people do, but most people don't want to move the position. You just want to speed it, or you just want to make it more smoother, like fast and then slower. You just want to do that. You don't want to move the position. So, which is why again, I know that I'm repeating myself a lot. I apologize for that. I just really do not like how it's like this, and I'm really, really hoping that in the new version 20 of DaVinci Resolved, this gets resolved. Because I mean, like, I know that I'm talking about video editing here, but when it comes to game development in Godot, you are able to do transition types, easing types, like, you've got more options like the ones I just showed you, but you've got various types of easing types of animations. And so, whilst a lot of people say that this is really, really good software, I mean, it is. It gives you a lot to do, a lot of simple things to do in a professional looking software. And whilst I get why they did it this way, it's because to keep it simple and to help people come over to their software a little easier to understand. But throughout everything that I've been using in DaVinci Resolve, the only area that this really is lacking with is the curve editor. That's like the only area that I'm really hoping they improve on in the future. If they can, then, as I already said, I am more than happy to try and edit even more in DaVinci Resolve, because that's been my biggest hurdle, and I keep on telling to myself that it's not a big deal if you can't smooth it, that ease-ins are just fine. I keep telling myself that, but every single time I try to edit in Resolve, I'm like, oh, but I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. And every single time I just get into that moment, I'm just like, I just want to go back to Premiere Pro, honestly. So if they are able to, if this does get improved in the future, then yeah, more than happy to. But until then, I can't, well, I mean, I can recommend DaVinci Resolve because it is pretty good software. I mean, I've tried other editing softwares before, and I think this one is actually the best free one out of them all. And I really do recommend it. But especially for the people who like animation, keyframing, curves, and would like it to be a bit easier, something like Premiere Pro, I unfortunately can't recommend DaVinci Resolve. But other than that, that has been my experience so far with it. Because everything else, I mean, the other issue I did have with using DaVinci Resolve is the lag, the performance. But I found that I can just create proxies and the performance is fine. I mean, the preview is going to look really, but I don't mind that. I don't care about that. As long as it performs great. And I also have been noticing how I've always been editing in 30 frames and never in 60 frames. And I find it funny how as soon as I realized I've been editing in 30 frames, I tried editing in 60 frames and I looked at a video in the final result. I didn't like it. I didn't like how it felt a bit too smooth for my liking. Now, when it comes to smoothness, the only thing I like about smoothness is, when you're playing a game, it looks very smooth. I like that. But I think when you're trying to, I don't know why, but sometimes when things aren't designed to be smooth, when you add smoothness to it, you can tell, and I hate that so much. It rubs me the wrong way. But when things are designed to be smooth, then yes, of course, I prefer it to be smooth. So when it comes to editing in Resolve, whenever I try to edit in 60 frames, it doesn't work well with me. And so I have to edit in 30 frames, and it's kind of annoying how you have to create a new timeline in order to change the frame rate. Because obviously, actually, we're currently in Resolve, and I'm in my editing 30, that's what I call it. And let's just go ahead and go over to editing 30, right click, timeline settings. You can't change the frame rate here. You just can't change it. And if we were to go over to the deliver or export page, you could do keyframes every 60 frames. You could do that. You could. But I've already tried that and it still comes out as 30 frames per second. So you cannot change your frame rates to 60. You cannot change it no matter what. Wait, custom. No. Yeah, you can't change. You cannot change your frames per your FPS. You can't change it, and I just think that's a little. Well, I don't like it. It might be fine for other people, but I don't like it. But in Premiere Pro, if I go ahead and do Control M to go to the export window, and you can actually change the frame rate right here. You can change it. Now, of course, I think it still looks 30 FPS in the video, but the video is actually 60 frames. Like, it's like a placebo effect in a way, that like, it says it's 60 frames per second, but it's not really 60 frames per second, which I kind of find funny. But I think it's because whilst the game that you're playing looks 60 frames in the video, because my face cam is actually recorded in 30 frames, I kind of force 60 frames in OBS. So that's why I do my frame rate to 60, even though I edit in 30 frames. And I just wish that you could just change your frame rate in DaVinci Resolve, but the only way to change your frame rate is just by creating a new timeline, changing it to 60, and then you would have to either copy or cut every single thing in your timeline and then paste it into the new timeline for it to be 60. Now, I've tried this, and unfortunately my keyframes get removed. So unless I need to find a way to do it properly, I'm going to have to render out my videos in 30 frames whenever I get to edit with DaVinci Resolve, of course. But yeah, that is a little annoying, at least for me. So all in all, as my experience goes for DaVinci Resolve, it's not quite there for me just yet. I don't know if it ever will. Hopefully it will, but I don't think it ever will. But as it is free, it is pretty good on its own, and many people have been really enjoying it. Now, it is advertised as a program that doesn't crash that much, at least not as much as Premiere Pro or any Adobe products. But according to a few people that I've spoke to, it does crash quite a lot, which is a little bit surprising. But then again, it's still a fairly-ish new program. Well, I say new, I mean, it's been out for years and years, but it's still fairly new to a lot of people. For me, at least, again, like I said already, it's not quite there for me just yet. But anyway, that has been my experience with DaVinci Resolve, and this video might have been a little bit longer than I anticipated, but thanks for watching anyway. Anyone that was even remotely interested in watching this, hope you've all enjoyed, I guess, and I hope you kind of understand where I'm coming from like an animation keyframe editor point of view. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.